Hello everyone and welcome back to episode 3 of the So Inspired Knitting podcast. How are we? It has been a while and I really did not intend for it to be this long before sitting down to film another podcast video, but here we are. I have just finished doing my GCSEs, well, quite a while ago now, but basically the time I wanted to film another one was when I was doing my GCSEs, and I was like, I'm gonna film the podcast, and then it was kept pushed to the next weekend, and then the next day, and then the next day, and now we are here at the end of July, finally getting around to filming another podcast. So I really hope you guys are all well and are excited to see what I have been up to, because although the podcast had taken a break, my knitting definitely hasn't. It was the only thing that got me through my GCSEs, so we have quite a few things to share. So first thing, we will start with what I'm wearing. You may have noticed I'm wearing knitwear, and look how beautiful the knitwear I'm wearing is. So this is actually like a very special piece to me. This is the, I really don't want to pronounce this wrong, but I think it's like the Abydos. That is probably not how you pronounce it. Top by the lovely Lily Kate Makes. This has literally just been released, and I was amazingly, very excitingly picked to test knit this beautiful little top for Lily. And yeah, it's the first test knit I've ever done. I've applied to so many at this point, I was getting a little disheartened. So when I got that email to say I would love you to test knit for me, I was like, what? Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I'm so grateful that like she gave me this opportunity, and I loved it. So yeah, this is the top. It is just like a perfect little summer top. Like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, I love that. Like, it's so different to anything that I've seen before. The yoke is mohair and tuck rose, and it creates this beautiful yoke design, and I just love it so much. And then the rest of the body is just like really simple stockinette, but this, the yoke, just absolutely steals the show, and I love it so much. I've already worn it a couple of times and I just love it, and of course I had to go for pink. This calls for a DK weight and a mohair, obviously, or just a lace weight, but I think it's probably better if it is fluffy. I went for Drops Belle in colour 11. That's probably not very helpful, but it's this really lovely like rosy pink, and you might be able to tell, but it's kind of like variegated, and I love it. It is 53% cotton, 33% viscose and 14% linen. I was really interested to try a blend of yarn which had linen in it, and I assume that is what is making this like a little bit rougher, but I really love it, and I would really like to make myself like just a basic t-shirt in this yarn, because I don't know, I just really like the feel of it for summer. And then for the mohair sections, I used Drops Kid Silk mohair. This is actually the first time I have ever like felt and worked with Drops Kid Silk mohair. I have heard everyone and their mums talk about this mohair, and I really wanted to try it. I just needed to wait for the perfect project, and when I needed to use mohair for this, I was like, this is the time. So I'm not gonna lie, when I ordered this online I thought they would match, but they clearly do not. This is a lot lighter than I thought it was going to be, but I actually don't think it's turned out badly at all. And I think it's actually quite nice that it's like a contrast colour, and that is what I love about this. Like, I was thinking, what if you did like a variegated or like gradient mohair? Like, how amazing would that be? Or like using up stash. This would be great for, because as you can see, you literally use barely any mohair for this. That is all I have to say. I made the second size for reference because I always find it really helpful when people say what size they made, because then you kind of like get a little bit of a gauge for what size will be good for you. So yeah, I made the second size. I love it so much. It was an amazing experience being able to test knit for someone, and yeah, I've followed Lily since the very beginning of this year, I think, and I still can't believe that she picked me to test knit for her. I think I have to open the window, it's a bit hot. Now we're going to move on to finished objects, and there are quite a few. As I mentioned, you may remember this if you remember anything that was in my last podcast, but this, I think I hadn't even finished the yoke and joined on the round yet, but this is my Friday slipover by Petite Knit, and this was my first ever Petite Knit pattern, and I loved it, and it definitely will not be my last. It is done in broken rib, and then there's a folded neckband, and I did it exactly to pattern, and I love this, and it is so soft. The yarn I used was Hobby Twister Solid, which is 55% cotton, 45% acrylic, and when this arrived I was like, oh my gosh, I really do not like this. It's like really quite silvery grey, and it's kind of like shiny, and I was like, I'm not sure about this. So I held it with We Are Knitters Touch Me Mohair because I got a voucher for We Are Knitters for Christmas, and it was the perfect amount to be able to buy the right amount for the slipover. So I was like, okay, well that's perfect. So I don't want to waste the voucher, obviously. I don't know how much slipovers suit me. I love this so much, hence why I made it, obviously, but I just don't know if it suits me. Like, I put it on and I'm like, oh, I don't know if this is me, but I love it, so I don't know. Next finished object, I had definitely started, I think I was in the middle of it in my last podcast, but it is this shawl. I will put the pattern details on the screen because I can't remember from memory, but I have finished the shawl. I was making it for my mum's birthday, which, oh my god, has it actually been that long? My mum's birthday was at the end of April. We're now at the end of July. Wow, okay. Anyway, this is the finished shawl, and I think it is beautiful. I mean, if I do say so myself. I really love the pattern and the textures, and I think it looks so nice. And I was panicking, okay? I had got to like here and I was like, is this yarn ever going to change colour? Otherwise this is not going to be a gradient shawl, which I had envisioned. But it did eventually change colour, but not until the very end. And I was like, that's not really how I planned. But I don't think it's turned out too badly at all. So yeah, it's just like a huge... it's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. Not that I thought it was going to be small, but by the end of it, I literally had over 400 stitches on my needle. And I was like, whoa. So yeah, it was an experience. This was the first shawl that I ever knitted, and I really did enjoy it. I found it quite therapeutic. I just think it's a really beautiful design, and it's a free pattern, so you can't really go wrong. The yarn I used was Cotton Kings Sultan, which is 100% cotton, and I still have a lot left. I haven't actually weighed it, but I don't know what I'm going to do with this yet. It's like a completely unplied yarn, which I wasn't expecting, to be honest, when I ordered it. But you can see here it's literally just like 4 strands of cotton. It's not like plied together, so it is quite splitty, but it was actually alright to work with. Whilst we are on the topic of shawls, I also made a, well, it was kind of a shawl but more of a scarf. It was a shawl shape but scarf size. I decided I wanted to make my granny something for her birthday, and it was around the time where My Favourite Things Knitwear had just released scarf number 2 pattern, and I just saw it and I was like, oh my god, that is beautiful. I really want to knit it, but I wouldn't really wear it, and I've just made my mum a shawl, so I was like, I'm making it for my granny. The yarn I used was Sublime Baby Cashmere Merino Silk 4-ply, and this is 75% extra fine merino, 20% silk, 5% cashmere, so it is a beautiful yarn combination. I have no idea what I'm going to do with how much I have left, but I'll find something. But yeah, it only needed 2 balls, I think, so yeah, I just thought it was a really lovely gift because it looked so much more complex than it is, and doing all the different stitch patterns I really enjoyed, and yeah, that has made me want to do the Ingrid sweater or slip over by Petite Knit, which I'm sure you've all seen. I will obviously have inserted a picture because it is now with my granny because her birthday was at the beginning of June. This is what I mean. I was planning actually to film this podcast when I still had the scarf, like before I'd given it to her. That is how long I have been waiting to do this podcast and how much I've been procrastinating it. So yeah. Okay, moving on. Best number 7 by My Favourite Things Knitwear again. They went on a bit of a My Favourite Things Knitwear pattern spree, didn't I? This is how it has turned out. I have blocked this and it still won't lie flat. I don't understand. I think I might block it again, you know, because why does it keep folding in? Anyway, this is it. It's basically a gilet, and this is for my mum. You will notice that in these podcasts I either knit myself or my mum. That is just how it is. I just absolutely love like knitting and sewing, creating for other people, so yeah. But anyway, this is it. I love how it turned out. I don't know what I was on here, but my like knitting looks so neat. Like, look at that. Like, I just think it's beautiful, and this yarn is just really nice. And this was also like a shoulder construction, which I had never done before, and I absolutely loved it. So that was really exciting, and it was nice to try something new. So you may notice that this pattern is designed to have buttons, but my mum just wanted it as like a sleeveless cardigan basically, so I just didn't do the buttonholes and buttons. And the yarn I used for this was Wendy Harvest DK, which is 20% wool, 70% acrylic and 10% viscose. It was really nice to work with actually, and I think the little like tweediness texture like just gives it the garment a bit of interest. But as you can see, I had quite a lot left. I had 3 balls of this, so this only took basically like 2 and a tiny bit balls. So I'm thinking maybe a hat or something out of this, but yeah, very happy with this. And it's also got a little split hem as well, which I hadn't done before. So yeah, it was a lot of few new techniques for this one. For my birthday, got a sock blocker. And I say a sock blocker because yes, I did just get one, not a pair, because bless my mum, she didn't realise that there was only one coming. She thought it was gonna be two. But like, why would you only want one is what I would like to know. Like, why? I don't know, I just thought that was very odd. But anyway, now I can show you my socks on sock blockers and they can look really nice. So this is the next finished object. Let's hold it this way around actually. Look at these socks, I just love them. Like, it's literally me in a sock. I didn't actually follow a pattern for these. They're basically just 3x1 rib socks with a heel flap and gussets. Yeah, I did it all the way around the leg, and then obviously just did like plain stockinette for the bottom of the foot. And this beautiful yarn that I have used is West Yorkshire Spinners 4-ply, signature 4-ply. Where is the colour name? I'm really sorry, I do not know what the colourway is. But it's the pink and green one. I feel like if I were to name this yarn, I would call it Strawberries and Cream. Doesn't that just scream strawberries and cream to you? It does me. Anyway, so I have like 50 grams left over, which means I can make a whole nother pair of socks. So I'm absolutely buzzing about that. And I will definitely be making myself another pair. Okay, you'll be pleased to hear this, I think, is the final finished object. But this is the souffle tee by the lovely Laura from Penrose Knits. Look at this beautiful thing that I've created. Like, I just love this, and I cannot wait to make one for myself because this one is for my mum. I actually literally just finished this at the beginning of this week and blocked it, and I love it. Yeah, I just think it's turned out very beautiful. And then at the back it had the little keyhole design. And this is the first time I've ever done I-cord, so that was a great experience. And the first time I've ever done a folded hem. It has a folded hem on the bottom and on the sleeves as well. And I really enjoyed doing it, and I really love the look. So we'll definitely be doing that more. This ruffle, I'm just obsessed. Like, can you believe I created a ruffle with knitting? Like, that just really blows my mind. But the only alteration I made with this is I probably did double the length of the body from the underarm. That was just my mum's preference. Do I regret using this yarn? I really can't decide. But at the time it was what was available, so I went with it. I use Stylecraft Charm lace weight, which is 85% premium acrylic, 10% wool and 5% mohair. So this calls for a lace weight yarn, and then you use it single stranded on the yoke and then double on the body. Now, to me, this yarn is equivalent to a lace weight held double, so I just held it single the whole way, and it has worked out brilliantly, and I'm so glad that I did that. A, because I wouldn't have had enough, but B, because it's worked out perfectly like that. It just means I haven't got like the sheer yoke the pattern is designed to have, but it works and it's fine. So I'm very happy, and I literally just needed one ball of this. How crazy. It's 200 grams and 1084 meters, and it was £12. That was the thing, it was £12 for this whole project. And for like a larger garment, that is just amazing, and I have this much left, so like not much at all. I think I have enough, I would have enough to like do the equivalent of like half a white stripe and most of a grey stripe, so that it was kind of perfect, to be honest. But yeah, love this, and I hope that my mum will get a lot of wear out of it, because this took a bloody long time, let me tell you. Like 4mm needles and like a lace weight, it took me forever. I started this in April, and yes, I definitely was not working on this like solidly, but even when I was, it took me a long time, which doesn't matter at all, because for me knitting is not about speed at all, it's about the rhythm of it. And I have to remind myself of that when I'm like doing a project. I'm like, oh, this is taking forever, and I'm like, Ellen, just like actually think about what you're doing and just enjoy the process, and it'll be done when it's done. I guess we should move on to whips. First whip is a gift for my lovely Nana. So it is my Nana's birthday in August, and I knew I definitely wanted to knit her something, and I was trying to find the right thing. I knew I wanted to knit her a cardigan, and I was like, that's it, I'm gonna knit her the Whitmore cardigan by Taylor S Studios, I think. It's going to be quite difficult to show, and right now it looks absolutely tiny because obviously lace grows a lot when it's blocked, and it's on a cable that is way too short. And there's a sleeve half done, and it's all just a bit of a mess, but here it is nonetheless. I just think this is beautiful, and I'm definitely going to make myself or my mum the Whitmore sweater, because just how beautiful is this lace design? Like, I just love it. So yeah, I'm nearly done with this sleeve, but I'm waiting for some circular needles to come in the post, because I cannot be doing with magic loop. Like, I just can't. So they're arriving soon. The button band is worked as you go on DPNs, which is great, because I hate when you finish something and then you have to go back and pick up a button band. Like, I'm just like, oh. But for this, you're doing it as you go, so you don't have that issue. So I basically just knitted the yoke, and then started the body and knitted up until my ball of yarn ran out, and then went and did the sleeves, just so then I know that the sleeves are done, and then I can just knit the body until I have no yarn left. There's quite a few firsts for this, but I am really enjoying it. I actually really loved doing this lace pattern. Once you get in the rhythm of it, it's really therapeutic. Yeah, I just love it, and I really hope that she loves it. The yarn I'm using is King Cole Homespun Double Knitting. This is 23% superwash merino, 22% alpaca, 23% polyamide, 23% acrylic, and 10% viscose. So we've got quite a blend going on here, but it's really beautiful, and it has like these little like speckles in and things. It's actually very similar to this Wendy's yarn, but a bit darker. Next work in progress, I literally started yesterday afternoon. So I know I'm not supposed to have more, I'm not supposed to have anything else on needles, but I watched Laura Penrose Knits knitting podcast, and she made the Sugar Boo bralette by Kadri, and ever since seeing her wear it like with this shirt, I was just like, I really need to make one. So I am, and I literally had the yarn waiting in my stash to make something, and this was the perfect thing. So I was like, it's meant to be, and I just really want to make it, so I'm gonna make it. So yeah, I started this yesterday afternoon, so we're not very far, but this is what we've got. I've done like the front and back triangles, and I'm joined in the round. So the yarn that I'm using for this is actually like a really special yarn, which I got when I went to Thread Festival, but it is this. It is Vinnie's Colours 100% bamboo viscose. When I tell you, this is the softest thing I have ever worked with in my life. It literally feels like you're knitting with butter. I know that sounds a bit weird, but you probably get what I mean. Or just like, oh my god, it's just the softest, most luxurious thing ever. It says it's 4-ply sport. However, it's 111 meters per 50 grams. And to me, that's more of a DK, and it's working up absolutely fine on 4mm needles for this project, which calls for DK. And it is basically, why this yarn is so special is, I'll read you the little thing on the belly band. It says, this yarn is hand dyed and balled by women from an economically depressed rural area of South Africa. The sale of this product, oh my god, I can't read. The sale of this product has empowered and brought economic benefits to their community. Hand dyed yarn gives your garment a unique marbled effect. How lovely is that? So I only bought 2 balls of this, and I was like, it will be enough to make a little top of something, and turns out it was the perfect amount to make one of these bralettes. So that is what I am doing right now, and I am loving every moment of it. Firstly, look how beautiful this yarn is. Like, for some reason I didn't realise it was going to be variegated, which I know sounds silly, but from the ball you don't think that's going to be variegated, do you? Well, I don't. But like the other colours you could actually see it was variegated, but this I didn't think was. But as you work it up you can see it, and I just think it looks so beautiful. Honestly, this is just so soft. I'm literally never going to take this off. It's just the most beautiful thing. I will link this yarn down below. I got it from a shop called Lala with Love, I think, and they're online and as well. Go and see the other things they do, but everyone needs this yarn to make themselves a little bralette or something, because it is just the softest thing ever. Okay, and the very last work in progress. I mean, I know I say I have like just that one on the go, but when I say I just have one project on the go, I mean I just have that project, but also a pair of socks, because I just always have a pair of socks on the go, because I just take them every time we go in the car. The socks that I'm currently knitting are these ones. I have finished one and I love it so very much. Look at this yarn. It is beautiful. It's like green, purple, variegated, and it's just beautiful. I've never worked with hand dyed yarn until recently. This yarn is by Millhouse Designs. It is hand dyed 4-ply sock yarn, superwash wool / nylon. I've never heard of this brand before. It's in the colour Way Lenton Rose, and I love it. Like, look how beautiful this is. These socks I'm actually knitting as a gift for someone, which they don't know about, so I'm really excited to give them to them as a surprise. But yeah, so I finished the first sock and it went by pretty quick, but I think it's just because I started it at a time when I was going in the car quite a lot, so it went quite fast. But this sock is going so slow, and I've lost a little bit of motivation on it, if I'm honest, but I think it's just because I've got a bit too excited about my bralette. But you know, I still enjoy knitting it when I go in the car for like 5 minutes. So yeah, we're not very far, but these will be done very soon, hopefully, so I can give them to their but absolutely love the yarn, and I love working with like variegated yarn because it just makes it so exciting when you're knitting up, because you like get something new as you're knitting. Okay, so you'll be pleased to hear that is all of the whips that I have to share with you. So now we're going to move on to acquisitions, and as I said, it has been quite a while, as you know by now, since I have filmed my last podcast. So that means I have acquired quite a bit of yarn in that time. So I'm definitely not going to show you anything, but there's just a few things I really want to share with you. It was just my birthday at the beginning of July, and a few people very kindly gave me some money to buy what I wanted. Of course that went towards yarn, because what else is it going to go towards, to be honest? And somewhere where I have been dying to try some yarn form for ages is Woolly Knits. I'm sure you've all heard of Woolly Knit. I decided to get the 100% cotton comb because I want to make the Summer Souffle by Penrose Knits, which calls for a DK cotton yarn, and this held double is obviously a DK, and 1 cone of this is going to be enough. Like, what? It's actually insane. And yeah, I went for this beautiful baby blue colour. I was like, oh, I don't know what colour to get, and then I just like saw this colour and was like, oh my god, this would look amazing in a Summer Souffle. So this is the one. So this will be the next thing that I cast on for myself, at least, at some point. So, and then the other thing that I got from Woolly Knits was 2 sock cones, because at the moment they have like a sock set, which for £12 you get these 2 cones of yarn and the sock pattern. They are 200-gram cones. I'm not sure how many meters they have though, but you can basically get 4 pairs of socks out of this for £12. What? I'm just obsessed. Anyway, I got the colour Corvette Blue. I asked my mum to choose a colour, and she chose this one. So I'll make her some socks in this, and then I chose the colour Mink, which is this like pinky beige kind of colour. And I got this because I thought they actually went well together. So like for Christmas presents I could do like stripy socks for people, and it's quite like, you know, unisex colours. So yeah, or I could do like contrast filters and cuffs. I just thought I wanted to get 2 that went together but were still kind of quite neutral. So these are what I went with, and I think it will be great for gifts. And yeah, I'm just very excited. It's 90% wool, 10% nylon. I'm just obsessed that they're cones. I don't know why. I'm just, yeah, basically ever since I saw them I was like, I really want to try them. So now I finally have them and I'm just very excited about it, as you can probably tell. And the final thing that I would like to share with you is this lovely little bag of goodness. Again, I think it was April. At the end of April, my mum and I got tickets to the Grey Sheep Co. It was kind of like an open day that they do every so often, and I was so excited, and it was honestly like the best morning of my life. It was just amazing. Like, you got to see how all the yarn was made, and the fields of sheep were just, oh my god, and like there was just like loads of people there knitting, and I'm just like, and all the yarn was there, and oh my god, it was just absolutely incredible. I loved it. I want to go again. But yeah, I did make a few purchases, so I just thought I'd share. First thing we got is one of the Hampshire 4-plies, 240 grams per 60 meters, and this is in the colour oatmeal. How beautiful is that? It is 98% virgin wool and 2% alpaca, and it feels like quite rustic but like really nice. And the fact that it just really blew my mind that I was literally standing in the building where this yarn went from being on a sheep. Like, it's just crazy. Anyway, it was just really nice to see as well. And then to go with that, I'll show you the pattern that I'm planning to make in a minute. But to go with that, we bought these 3 mini skeins. So these are 20 gram skeins. Hampshire 4-ply, again, the same. And we got the colour. Are you joking? These don't have colour names. No, that's so sad. I think they go really nice together with this being the base. I think that will look really nice. And with this little beautiful collection, we also got their book. Me and my mum saw this hat and we were like, oh my gosh, I actually love that. So this is what it looks like. That's not a good picture. Hopefully you can get a bit of a bigger, better picture of it there. But I don't know what it is. It's just like a really simple design, but I just think it's really lovely. I'm excited to make that when it gets more into like autumn, winter. I don't know about you, but it just feels wrong to make a hat in the summer. Which I know sounds stupid because I make jumpers in the summer, but to me a hat is just, I don't know. The last thing that I got is this lovely little bag of goodness. So they had basically this massive basket of like odd skeins, and it was basically fill a bag and it's £15. So I was like, grab me a bag, I will be filling one. So sorry, this just makes me like so ridiculous. So anyway, I got, sorry, I'm gonna just take them out, this beautiful pink, which is actually probably, oh no it's not, it's different. It's very similar to this, because we all know that I love pink. So basically I have no idea how much is in any of these, so I have no clue what I'm going to do with them, but they will be for sure turned into something. Then I also got this grey one. I tried to pick things that would kind of go together, but, and then I saw this and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't leave this. Look at the colours in this. Here we go. Oh, I just don't think the camera's picking this up. But it's basically just like greens, pinks, blues, peaches, greys. I just love it. Like, I've no clue what I'm gonna do with this. I was kind of thinking along the lines of, because I really want to try colour work. So I was like, well, these little skeins surely will be perfect for trying out colour work. So that's what I was thinking. Then I also got this little green one because I'm obsessed with like this colour green at the moment, and to me all of that just looks beautiful together. And then I also got these 2 cobalt blue ones, which I know is like completely different, definitely does not go with this vibe. But I was thinking maybe this could be something together and this could be colour work on just like a plain coloured sweater, maybe. So that was kind of my thinking, because I really do love this colour, but I'm not sure I'm brave enough to wear it like fully just this colour on its own. So I feel like if I did kind of a colour work sweater, that'd be a good idea. But yeah, they were my very exciting purchases from when I went to the farm. It was amazing. Me and my mum absolutely loved it. Honestly, the people there were just so lovely, and it was the first kind of knitting event I had ever been to since I started knitting, and it was just really nice to be surrounded by people that actually knew what you were talking about. Okay, well, I think I have rambled on for very much long enough, so I am going to love you and leave you. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this podcast. Let me know down below what you are currently working on. I would absolutely love to know. Since my GCSEs finished and kind of I'm done with that part of my life, my mental health hasn't been too great, honestly, recently. So I'm just trying to take things really slow and kind of get back into videos slowly, get back into content creating slowly, get back into my business, but I'm just taking it very slow to prevent myself from getting too overwhelmed. So yeah, I will speak to you very, very soon, but for now I hope you have a lovely day wherever you are in the world. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you enjoyed it. That would mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you very soon in a brand new video. Bye!